So today, or well, yesterday, I guess, there was a huge and major development in the Justin Roiland situation. And for those of you who don't know, there was or I'll give you a little bit of the spark notes so that we don't have to read the whole novel. Justin Roiland, who many know for High on Life, he voices the every character in that game, which I haven't have yet to play, but I'm hoping to play it pretty soon on stream. Anyways, so Justin Roiland, he also is known for playing or voicing Rick and Morty in the world-renowned show Rick and Morty. Obviously, he was arrested back in 2020 for charges of domestic violence and false imprisonment, which basically just means that he held somebody against their will. Usually, from what I can tell, I'm not a lawyer, but from what I can tell, it's usually something that is used more by police. So when police get charged with crimes, that is a crime that they could be charged with. But anyways, moving on. So we thought that everything was going to go looking fine for season 7 that was coming up, which is going to be reportedly the last season so far, or one of the last seasons of Rick and Morty, which I think people are starting to get tired of anyways because the show has just gone on for so long. But back in 2020, Justin Roiland pled not guilty to these charges, and he appeared in court earlier this month for a pretrial hearing. There's no confirmed trial date, but he has a pretrial hearing set for April 27th. And this looks like it's going to be pretty bad, because last night at 2:15 p.m., this statement was released. Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7 currently. And there is just not enough words here to explain what's happening, in my opinion. They basically just use 26 letters, or 26 words, which is the same number of letters in the alphabet, and they just described how Justin Roiland has basically been fired from the team for right now, and there's not really much going on. But in a statement from Roiland's attorney, his name is T. Edward, he's been quoted as saying this: "To be clear, not only is Justin innocent, but we also have every expectation that this matter is on course to be dismissed once the DA's office has completed its methodical review of the evidence. We look forward to clearing Justin's name and helping him move forward as swiftly as possible." And I think that this is really important because now that he's been fired and these charges are actually becoming, I believe one of them is a felony charge. I'm not 100% sure. But now that these charges are moving forward and he's actually going to trial and has another pretrial hearing for April 27th, this is really important because also Justin Roiland's game company just settled a lawsuit that extended back, I believe, to 2019, or a ton of lawsuits, I should say. It's more than one. But these lawsuits were basically saying that his company was allowing people to be sexually assaulted and sexually harassed at work. So this is just really, really bad overall. But I just think that this situation is getting wild and even more. Like, there's a lot more development in this case now that he's been fired. I'm hoping that the team behind Adult Swim managed to actually do their research and see what was going on. According to this article by the EW.com, this announcement comes 2 weeks after Justin Roiland was charged after it was revealed that he was charged with one felony count of domestic battery and one felony count of false imprisonment by menace, violence, fraud, or deceit. The criminal complaint was given by an anonymous woman who's been identified as Jane Doe, which I think is very good on the law, or on the investigator standpoint, because I don't want this lady being harassed, and I'm sure she doesn't want to be harassed, because this is usually what happens when people come out and speak about what's going on. Anyways, so Jane Doe which resulted in a traumatic condition for the woman, who is already, quote, in a dating relationship with Roiland at the time. The representatives for Justin Roiland didn't immediately respond to EW's request for comment, and then just all kinds of stuff is coming out, and this looks really bad for Justin Roiland. I'm hoping that if he is found guilty, that he gets the justice that he deserves, and I hope that the woman who is identified as Jane Doe in this article gets the clarity that she deserves. I feel like this is a really messed up situation. I feel really bad for her and her family, and this is really shitty considering that Justin Roiland also is having to deal with the lawsuits from his other company. On top of that, he has to deal with the fact that his game High on Life was so divisive, and I'm not even bothered about that one as much. It's just there seems like a lot of stress in his life and the people in the situation's life. I just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes because this announcement was really, really important, I feel like. And looking back on it now as like a major, or like the future, I think that this is likely going to be the end of Rick and Morty. People were already kind of upset with Justin Roiland's comedic style. It's been getting kind of bland and boring lately. And I just think that this is probably going to be the end because you've been watching 6 seasons of a character who's voiced by one guy, and it's not, Adult Swim's fault at all. I think that just because people are already getting bored of Justin Roiland, and there's been 6 seasons of him voicing characters, I think that if you have a brand new character voice your main characters that you've been seeing for the last 70 episodes or whatever, 60 episodes, however many it is, I don't know. I haven't watched Rick and Morty in years. But for however many episodes, I think that it's just going to end up being a little bit sad for people, and they're just going to end up dropping the show. And then you also have the people who are just going to drop the show because what Justin Roiland did was probably one of the most heinous crimes you could do. Assaulting your partner and then keeping her imprisoned is just awful. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this for a few minutes because I thought that it was really important. That's going to be about all I got. Take it easy.